What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and as always, I am joined by the podcast dad, Choops. How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you today?
A little tired, but, I manage.
Shout out to TWE. Also,
it is a very nice hat. It is a
GV Art in Cleveland. Shout out. We'll see you soon.
Man, 16 days. 16 days till SummerSlam. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot. Seems like it was just yesterday we were at a wrestling show.
Yeah. I mean, like 72 hours ago, but,
Yeah. It feels like it. I think I'm still feeling the effects from the 9.5 hours of wrestling, but I'll take that.
It was worth every second of it, though. I mean,
Yes, it was.
Everybody's going to hear us continue to talk about SCI, as this week goes on, just because it was too damn good of a time, that's for sure.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks all for joining us once again tonight. As always, hit the QR code at the top left corner. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Chris, hit him with that magic number.
1, not 10. 1.
Not even 2.
We got a 1 chant started at TW or at Scenic City.
We did.
I remember that. We got a 1 chant.
Yeah.
And it was, hey, 1. Tell one friend. Please?
Yeah.
Please.
Just 1. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do it. We're at 290 right now, I want to say. So, I mean, let's see if we can get to 300 by the end of the week. I'm feeling pretty damn confident about that. What say you?
290 is the number. Let's get 10 more. We need. There's your 10.
Yeah.
There's your 10, Ty Jellinger. Get us 10 more. Come on.
Sean Spears to you.
That's not his gimmick anymore, pal.
I know. But as always, make sure you're also following the Main Event Network at mainevent_net on all social media platforms if you want great content, including podcasts, blogs, fan art, you name it. We've got it. Vicious Rants with Tim Vicious. We get some retro wrestling content as well. The OTM boys looks like they're dropping a doubleheader on Thursday, so make sure to support them at Pod on the Mark if you want to give them a follow there as well. Monday Night Raw is in the books, and one thing we did see a lot of was the John Cena farewell tour. And for a farewell tour, you're definitely going to need some merchandise, much like this snazzy shirt right here. And Chris, where can everybody get that shirt?
They can get it at www.shop.com. Wow, that was hard. But
yeah,
what you're going to do is scan the QR code that Mr. Cincinnati just put on there and get it through our affiliate to help support this show so we can do fun stuff like SCI, like going down to Georgia and Tennessee, and who knows where this could take us next. We could be in Canada. I don't know. That was random. But
yeah, I mean,
continue to support us so we can continue to support independent wrestling and have amazing people on the show and go meet some amazing people. And just, hey, it's wrestling. Let's support it. Let's support it.
Speaking of supporting independent wrestling, July 27th, ETU Summer Madness 2. We are one of the official sponsors. Once again, this is a phenomenal card that they have got going here. Marcus Mathers will be taking on Titus Alexander for the Key to the East Championship. Marcus Mathers is celebrating his 5-year anniversary in the world of professional wrestling today, so congratulations to him.
Shout out.
And then don't forget, Joseph A-Game Alexander is also in the building for this show. Believe me when we say you do not want to miss this. It will be streaming live on IWTV, coming all the way from Ridgefield Park, New Jersey.
The Mecca.
Yes.
Tell us about the Mecca.
It is an iconic independent wrestling venue, one that we have not had the pleasure yet to experience ourselves, but we're definitely hoping that we hit. Yeah, sooner than later. But I know that this has been kind of making the rounds a little bit. We did put this out earlier today. Boy, did we have an announcement for you guys Friday at noon. Stay tuned to our social media. You are not going to want to miss this because, quite frankly, it is going to change the trajectory of the Wrestling Junkies podcast and what we do to support independent wrestling. So cannot wait for that. But now at this point, you guys have heard me talk enough. It's time to bring out our first guest of the day, unless, Chris, you want to hear me in my musings.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Positive.
Nobody else does either.
Hey, that's not bad. That seems a little.
Oh, I'm sorry. That went too far.
It did. did go a little too far. But anyway, let's move on to our first guest of the night. He is a standout member of the ProSouth Wrestling roster, and we'll be here to talk about the highly anticipated The World Is Ours show coming up on August 17th. This event also features some of our favorite former guests, including Vogan and Edward Draven. And tonight he's made waves in the wrestling world, including a thrilling last man standing match this summer. We're excited to get to know him better and to hear about his aspirations for the rest of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shean Christopher to the show. Shean, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. How are you guys?
Doing well. Doing well. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to come on here.
Hey, anytime that we get to talk wrestling with wrestlers, it's a good day for us.
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
But let's get right on into it here, Shean, at the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. We look at the world of pro wrestling. We've got heroes, we've got villains, they clash. They all have origin stories. That's the one thing that they have in common. So if you could, indulge our audience and tell us about some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling.
So as a wrestling fan, I draw inspiration. Obviously, I dig into the old dark, spooky gimmicks. So The Undertaker immediately as a child caught my eye, and it has been like my obsession for like 20 plus years of my life of The Undertaker and all of these like, I don't know, the creepy, interesting parts of pro wrestling that make you think like just a little bit more than beyond just like the regular realms of like a pro wrestling, just like one-on-one match. That always intrigues me. So that's always been, that's been what's drawn me to pro wrestling is just like the, not only just like the art between the ropes, but then the art, outside of it and how just like absolutely crazy and whatever the pro wrestling can be. Like literally anything can fit inside this little realm of pro wrestling if we really stretch our imaginations enough to make it. So that's always been like my number one, I don't know, thing as a fan and as a performer, I guess.
What was the one moment where you're like, all right, I'm doing this?
So honestly, like I was super duper like mega like dumb mark, had no idea how anything outside of television wrestling. I always thought that pro wrestling was just like a TV only thing. So I never thought it was something that I could do. I was like, I don't know how to go to like wrestling college. Like there's none around me, at least. I've never heard of the wrestling here. And I saw a flyer on like just this like Coke machine that me and my brother Donnie Primetime, you may have heard of him. Little fucking name drop. We used to walk to this like grocery store every day and get like 50-cent Cokes out of it. And we saw this flyer for ProSouth Wrestling, actually, interesting enough. So we decided, we're like, wait, this is a thing that people do that's not just on television. So once we visited ProSouth Wrestling for the first time, we were hooked. We were like, wait, this is actually something that is an obtainable goal of ours. So we can get into this. And he started training. I was only like 14 at the time. So I was had to wait a few months before I was able to, dabble into some stuff. But yeah, it honestly never seemed like a thing that me or anyone I ever knew could ever attain until just like happening upon a flyer on a Coke machine one day. And I was like, oh, dang, look at this. This is a real thing. It also sounds like an origin story from the 70s. But I didn't grow up in Alabama. So everything is like so far behind. The internet's not as prevalent there. They're just now catching up. I think Twitter might just have launched, or at least people in Alabama might have only just figured out about X. My apologies. See, I'm still behind. I still can't shake it.
It's okay. It's all right. I only updated my app like a month ago. So
yeah, he held out as long as he could. ProSouth is known for some amazing talent. I mean, we've named a few that are going to be participating in The World Is Ours on August 17th. So tell us about your experience with the promotion. What is the vibe, the atmosphere that they try to cultivate in Alabama?
So it is. So like I said, it was my origin story way long back in 2014 or 13. It was like the end of 2013. So a long time ago, way back then is when I discovered ProSouth Wrestling. But even then, it was already a promotion that was like 5 or 6 years old, and I think it's the 16th or 17th year right now they're happening upon. But It's always been like it's a weekly product, so it's a place for like pro wrestlers to go every single week and get into the things that like independent pro wrestling can kind of, like we can't really take advantage of things on a month to month basis, like storyline wise and like drama wise. Like you can't build it as much as you can on like a weekly television product. So it's streamed on YouTube every week, live streamed on YouTube every week, and it's able to build those stories, and it gives people, especially newer wrestlers, like an opportunity to like own that part of their craft. That's a little more, it's a little more television focused rather than just pro wrestling focused. And of course, like, you do want to have like the best match possible, but also there's a lot of like, there's 2 different angles. There's a photographer. There's a lot. It's very like television storyline focused wrestling, so it helps develop skills that you might not get. Like you can become like the greatest pro wrestler in the world, and then when you go for like a tryout somewhere, you're like, oh my god, I didn't know there were all these cameras that I had to like focus on. I didn't know that like I had to speak with this sort of emotion whenever I was delivering this sort of thing. So, and there's so many like really smart like people who've been in wrestling forever, just there that really want to help people and help people like succeed. So it's a really good place for younger wrestlers to go and, cultivate like a really important, but like a really kind of, a hard part of the wrestling craft to master. And it's something you don't even really think about when you get into pro wrestling, but I don't know. So that's, ProSouth's like bread and butter is weekly storytelling wrestling and just helping young guys be better.
Okay. Let's talk about some of that storytelling. You competed in a last man standing match. Tell us what that experience was, and then kind of walk us through how that match gets put together.
Okay, so talking about storytelling, let's get straight off the wall crazy with this one, because Ace Haven is runs ProSouth Wrestling. He is also the head trainer of the ProSouth Wrestling Academy. So obviously he has trained me, and he's been very much like more than just a trainer, but like a father figure to me. And that's not even like pro wrestling storyline stuff. Like I've really I don't know, I've lacked a dad in my life, and he was really helpful to like when I was just like 14, 15 years old, and showing me like how not only like pro wrestling worked, but how life worked. So he's a guy that I look up to a lot. And of course, every good origin story turns with the old student turning on the teacher. So not only did I turn on my teacher, but I turned on my teacher, and then I like hooked him to some sort of device to really like put an exclamation mark on the point, and then sent him straight to the ceiling and had him lifted up like some sort of like bag of meat in front of all these people. And then as that has progressed, not only have I made his life a living hell because he has refused to fight me, I had like a 10-minute, basically uninterrupted ass whooping session on Ace Haven because he just refused to punch me. So I just basically beat him up for like 10 minutes, and then that was that. So it finally led to he grew a pair, and he decided to face me in a last man standing match. And I thought, this is the time for the thrilling conclusion. So I started the match, and I was like, what will get in his head more than anything? I'm going to strike his wife with a suicide dive straight out the gate. Kick things off crazy, and it only gets worse from there as we just beat the absolute hell out of each other. He took something on the apron through a chair. We all went through chairs, and then of course the thrilling conclusion, 15 feet high in the air, we both go from some scaffolding type situation through 2 pair of double stacked tables, and neither one of us are able to make it to our feet, and it led us to an unsanctioned match where now I've indoctrinated his 9-year-old son as my own son. So now I've taken his child, and I am on the cusp of taking his ProSouth Wrestling brand as my own, and taking everything from a man that used to be my father, Ace Haven. So
this is like Sandman the Raven here.
Talk about soap opera about the most ridiculous stuff you've ever heard in your entire life. That's what I'm doing down in Alabama right now.
Man, yeah, that's
speechless after that.
That's a good story here. But let's talk about something a little lighter here. We have got The World is Ours coming up on August 17th. We recognize some faces on this flyer here. Tell us about this event, the build up to it. What's the reception been like in Alabama as you're getting ready for it?
All right. So first off, I will say, as I am a straight male, there have been enough straight male events in the history of time, so I will not be personally performing on this event. But there are a lot of people on this event that are near and dear to my heart. Ravenna Vane is on my t-shirt. That's my fiance, and she's front and center on that poster. She will be performing there. My brother,
Nice.
aforementioned Donnie Primetime, will be on that event. And also the two men that are handling, the running of said event, Bobcat, Jason. I don't know, I'm not going to shoot name him on here, but we'll say Bobcat and Jax that are both from BCK Productions that are putting it together. I love both of those guys. Jax was my first ever tag team partner whenever I get into pro wrestling. And I'm so happy to hear that maybe possibly some rumblings that he might be performing on the card. But I'm also so happy to see that he has literally taken the Alabama drag circuit by like storm crazy. But I also always knew that he would when he said he was going to, because Jax was a guy whenever we were a tag team, always thought about the entrance way more than the wrestling. And I was like, when he said he was going into drag, I was like, Jax, this is what you need to do, because you were and I'll be damned, he's killing it crazy. There's also so many other like super like talented performers that I'm personally a fan of. There's Sigrid, Eden Monroe. I think Noah Vale was just added to the card. Finesse, of course, incredible, man. Finesse has had such a breakout like past like few months over at TWE and at Retinal, and watching Finesse perform is incredible. And it's insane how new that Finesse is at this, and they have picked it up so like it's nothing, like it's absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm really excited to I will definitely be present to support all of those people, but the night is not about me. The night is about celebrating these people who have never had a platform in Alabama like this to be celebrated on. So I'm excited to be present and to watch these people kill it, put on some crazy matches. I'm sure top to bottom. I just saw that I think it was Donnie Primetime and Eden Monroe was announced yesterday. So I think that's the first match announcement. So I'm excited to watch that one. Got a little, I know a couple other things that I'm going to let them announce. I'm not the guy to announce it, but I will let them announce it whenever they drop it. But I'm very excited to see what they cook up. August 17th. Right. I forgot all the very important things about being a big fan of all these people. 1003 Industrial Parkway, Piedmont, Alabama. It's at the ProSouth Palace. You can also just literally put ProSouth Wrestling in your Google Maps and it'll take you straight to this Gmail, or not to a Gmail, to this address. So the tickets are $12. They're still available for pre-order, I believe. And yeah, I think that's all the information. That's much more important than all of the other information that I touted before.
Very cool. So what's the back half of the year look like for Shean Christopher? What are some goals? What are some things that you want to get accomplished before the year's end?
Well, as of right now, I'm kind of only bobbing around to 2 or 3 different promotions, and that's it's okay, but I'd love to get out to more places. Of course, I'd love to get over to up there in Chattanooga, up to TW. I've been there a few times. I'd love to be back for sure. Love to dip my toes in the action wrestling, all of the surrounding areas. I'd like to just get out more in. I do have a regular, boring, normal job that has constricted my schedule so much, and even reduced it even further as recent as yesterday. So I'm fighting that battle while trying to, be the cool pro wrestler that I am. And I definitely don't have to have a real job at all. What am I saying? But, so I want to get to more places. I want to also, I have wrestled for so long already. I'm not saying that I'm good at this, but I also just want to help people as much as anyone who ever needs help or wants to ask for advice or help. I do have some opinions on things, and some of them are wrong, some of them are right, and you're free to take whatever that sounds good to you. So I would like to just help more people. I'd like to get myself out there more, of course. Brother Azrael and I are currently the New Era tag team champions at Sacrilege. I'd like to keep those tag team titles. I believe I calculated it. It's almost 150 days as of yesterday. Nice. something like that. So I like to keep those just through the rest of the year. Just keep those hostage from New Era Pro Wrestling for the rest of the year. Make sure that we just hold up with those. And yeah, just continue, of course, wreaking havoc in Ace Haven's life, and hopefully take over ProSouth Wrestling by the end of the year or something. Be crazy.
There we go. There we go.
I like it. Well, you have answered every single question with ease so far. Before we let you go, we have one final question for you. And based on how this interview started today, I think I have an idea of where it's going to go, but we're going to ask anyway. When you hear the moniker Mr. WrestleMania, is it Shawn Michaels or is it The Undertaker?
Oh, well, okay. So I will say, of course, the short answer is The Undertaker. But that is not to discredit the fact that when we're looking at quality of matches, Shawn Michaels usurps The Undertaker tenfold, unfortunately. But like when you're looking at Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, WrestleMania 10 ladder match, and WrestleMania 9 Undertaker versus John Gonzalez, like which one are you going to go back and rewatch in Shawn Michaels and Bret, Iron Man? There's Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21. And there's just too many stinkers along the early portion of the WrestleMania streak that I cannot, in good conscience, of course, just say that no, Undertaker, dead square, like no conversation. There is very much a conversation to be had for Shawn Michaels, but my personal opinion, it will always be The Undertaker.
Yes, the long, the medium, the short answer is The Undertaker. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, that's totally fair. But Sean, thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, if you want to follow the journey of Shean Christopher, you can follow him on X at Sean SHEAN Christ CHRIST. Sean, thank you so much once again, and best of luck in 2024. And hope to have you back on soon.
Yeah, same to you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Man, I don't know if I could ever do a last man standing match, but
I don't know if I could dive off a scaffold through 2 tables.
Yeah, I mean, not by choice, you know.
I mean, you heard me before I got on. You heard me over the weekend get out of bed, and I was popping. So
yeah, dude, like in ways that even I've got a couple of joints that do that, but that was, I mean, you walked from the bathroom and it was just like,
yep. I'm in an 80-year-old's body. It's fine.
That's all right. But it's time to move on to our next guest. He is a rising star in the wrestling world, trained by none other than TNA and WWE star Ken Anderson. This past weekend, he competed for First Wrestling in an event co-branded with Pyre's Brewing Company at their brewery. The weekend before that, he showcased his talents at the Taste of Minnesota in another First Wrestling show. He's also one half of the dynamic tag team NDS Worldwide with Levy Cruz, and on July 25th, he'll be stepping into a steel cage for Time Bomb Pro Wrestling in a thrilling 4-on-4 match, teaming up with our friend and former guest Connor Hopkins. Please welcome Rylie Jackson to the show. Rylie, how's it going, man? How are you?
What's up? I wasn't sure if we were live or not. I was tuning in. I was listening this whole time, watching. Like, am I the only person on camera right now? Like, is this actually happening? No. What's up? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, now we got to do it live around here. Makes things more interesting.
Always does.
Sorry if the service is kind of crappy. I'm on a little retreat right now, so I had to find where I could get enough Wi-Fi service. So if the service is bad, that is why.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay.
We've why I was a little late.
That's all right. We've had our moments before. No issues there. But let's get on into it while we have you here. Like we asked our first guest, Shean Christopher. Wrestlers, they're heroes, they're villains, they clash. They all have origin stories. So Rylie, tell us about some of your earliest memories of pro wrestling, man.
My earliest pro wrestling story would be when I showed up to the Caribou Coffee and I met with Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy. That's where I decided to get my debut training at. I remember my whole plan was to graduate high school and then go to Black and Brave, right? Because there was nothing in Minnesota. The most prolific area of pro wrestling had no wrestling school when I first started, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden my father showed me and he was like, yo, I heard a radio ad that there's a school opening up. So then legit, I was sophomore in high school. I'm like, that's what I want to do. And I joined while I was still in high school. And then ever since then, I've just been grinding. I've been wrestling, trying to make a name for myself. So I'm on lucky number 7 right now for years and still grinding.
Nice. How's it training under Mr. Anderson Kennedy?
Man, it's gone through different generations. We've gone through 3 different schools now. We're at a little hockey arena now. We started in like a little auto garage. It was a former like auto shop. That's where we started, and then we moved to a big gym, like a big facility. I was like, man, where was this when I started? And then now we're at a hockey arena. So like it's gone through different generations. It's crazy to see, like, each person is starting their own journey at each place. Like, they don't even know the auto zone was a thing, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Hell yeah. I like it. So tell us a little bit about First Wrestling. We know they're up in the Minnesota area. How did you first become involved with them?
What's that?
Tell us about how you first became involved with First Wrestling. We know you've had a couple of events with them this summer. So just tell us a little bit about how you came to start working with them.
Well, first, Eric Cannon was one of my original trainers when the academy first opened up. Like I was talking about the different generations, the different eras, the auto zone era. That's when Cannon was the trainer, and so like I've known Cannon, and First Wrestling WrestlePalooza, that is, has always been the goal. So I've just been grinding, working, trying to figure out who Rylie Jackson is, and now I'm a mainstay at First Wrestling. And things have changed along the way, and I'm still trying to find out, what it takes to be that WrestlePalooza champion. And that's where I'm at now. That's why I go on these retreats, so I can find out like the inside of myself, because I feel like every single person, like, you have something special inside you. You just got to figure out what it is. And it took me, letting everybody boo me, everybody against me. It took that to realize what it all was, like what I had missing.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. This 4-on-4 steel cage match at Time Bomb Pro Wrestling. Walk me through this. What does this look like? How did this happen?
It is Lethal Lockdown / War Games on steroids, right? That's what we got. We got the Blank Generation walking in against Badger Briggs, one of Badger's chump friends. Brandon Gore is in there. Eric Cannon is in there. That's 3. The 4th person doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, it's the Blank Generation. We got myself, Rylie Jackson. We got Levy Cruz. We got Damon Spriggle. And we got the Wild Coyote, Connor Hopkins. Like, you got to think about, like, who's of pro wrestling. And then the young guys. Like, that's what this cage match is all about. Like, listen, secret, it ain't for the faint of heart. Us, the Blank Generation, we got no heart. So, like, we're going to be fine. We break hearts. It's what we do. We break hearts. We break faces. We make people bleed. And that's what's going to come to when Time Bomb Pro. Like, look, Time Bomb Pro, and I'm just talking about NDS here. When we joined Blank Generation, we joined Time Bomb Pro at the same time. So, like, we joined that group at the same time. And since we walked into Time Bomb and we beat Red Hot Summer, we've been undefeated. The top guys of whether it's North or Minnesota wrestling, we lose against Pro, and we beat them here at Time Bomb. Like, there's just been nobody that could touch us. So that's why when we're walking into that cage, sure, it's a never before had match. But when the lights are bright, nobody shines brighter than NDS at the end of the day. There's a reason companies put their championships on us. 5 times have companies put their debut championships on us. Like, we're the best team in the game. You know about NDS?
We all know about it.
We all know about it. Of course we do.
We're not going to have you on the show and then not know about it. Come on now.
Yeah. Not only am I talking to you, though, like, are we not talking to the brass.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
fair.
know. You should know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This cage match is gonna be crazy though. There's gonna be a lot of blood.
Is it one ring?
I like it.
Blood and gut. There's one ring, 8 people,
Jeez.
1 wing, a war games with 1 freaking ring. It's gonna be insane. There's gonna be bodies all over the place. I don't even know how it's gonna go right now. You know, like that's what's crazy. Like the match, you can't even win the match until all 8 people are in there, right?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, and many will think that, oh, it's Eric Cannon. He's been around the block a few times. Like, he knows everything. Like, sure, he does. But, like, this match has never happened before. And the old dog needs to go learn some new tricks. And we got the new tricks, you know?
Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not going to argue with you.
Nope.
Wouldn't be good for you.
Oh man. Oh, Mr. Cincinnati, I think it is your turn to ask a question.
Yeah. So, provided that you make it through this cage match here, what does the back half of 2024 look like for you?
Man, the back half, I'm still trying to figure that out. Because we got a few here and there's, but a lot of that is Minnesota. My whole goal is to get out of Minnesota. I mean, that's why I take these retreats, because there's so much world ahead of you, and if you're stuck in one place, you're only going to get so good. Like, man, I've been the king of this campus for, like I said, what am I on? 7 years now. I've been the king of this Minnesota campus for 7 years. I'm trying to figure out what else is out there. There is so much wrestling out there. It's the same thing I tell the kids coming up. Like, man, don't let whatever you're doing right in this little area stop you, because there's so much more. You can be a big fish in this small pond, but what happens when you get into the freaking ocean? You got to start to swim with the sharks. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to swim with the sharks. Like, I've seen my friends go up and, you know, working at the highest level. Motherfucker, I'm Rylie on the highest level. I'm trying to get to that highest level of pro wrestling. So like, that's what the back half looks like. Like, coming up, I got, you know, once I get back from my little like self-love retreat in Buffalo, Minnesota, we've been the NDS, that is pronouns. Rylie Jackson, Lovey Cruz have been the AWF Tag Team Champions for quite some time now. Have not lost them, and we got a street fight against who knows what. Doesn't matter, because we're gonna retain the championships. And the thing is, like, that's what the end half of 2024 looks like. Stacking up championships on championships on championships. So at the end of the day, the name of the game is kissing girls and winning championships.
There you go. Okay. All right. Can't argue with you.
Well said.
So you were watching, so you know what this next question is going to be. Mr. WrestleMania, who is it? Is it Shawn or is it Taker?
Yeah, I thought this question was coming. The Shawn Michaels,
Okay.
HB Shizzle. Like, there's nobody else was even coined the name Shawn Michaels. That's Mr. WrestleMania. That's why Shawn Michaels is the only acceptable answer. I hated Undertaker from the minute he beat Shawn Michaels. Like, Undertaker lost all credibility as soon as he beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, because it was not his time. He's had his time for 22 chances before that. Sometimes, like, the moral of the story with Eric Cannon, the old dog has to learn some new tricks, and sometimes it's time for you to go. So that was Undertaker's time to go. So Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, and on July 25th, it's Eric Cannon's time to go when the Blake Generation wins the Lethal Lockdown War Games. Yeah,
Love it.
I like it. Well, Rylie, thank you so much for joining us, and to everybody watching out there, you can find Rylie Jackson on X at the Young Gun RJ. Rylie, thank you again for joining us, man. Hopefully this won't be the last time. We'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, please have me, man. We're all little junkies out there. Y'all keep tuning in. I love you. Live like Rylie, baby.
Much appreciated, my friend. Be well. Once again, thank you to Rylie Jackson and Shean Christopher for joining us tonight. I swear, we just have the best guests on this show.
With the energy.
I like it. I definitely did not have my afternoon caffeine, so that definitely helped to
I did. It was in a Wrestling Junkies coffee mug.
Mine's just water with lemon.
God. You know, I've never been on the whole water with lemon train.
What? Why not?
I don't know. The podcast mom does that, and water's water.
She's got good taste.
I don't need flavored water. Like, I'm drinking water. It's not for fun.
Okay. But okay, all right, okay. Sometimes you just want to zhuzh it up a little bit. No big deal.
But I don't. Like, just drink your water. Like, that's it. Just drink water. Okay. If you want water with lemon, drink some lemonade.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily want the sugar of lemonade. Just a little bit of lemon
sugar-free lemonade.
Yeah, but that's got aspartame and chemicals that are just plain bad for you. So I think what I'm doing is I kind of do, for the purposes of my health. Excuse me.
Why don't you just drink lemon juice then? I did.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to talk Monday Night Raw here?
Sure.
Mommy's back, and she is pissed. Rhea Ripley finally making her return. Yes, we saw her show up last week, but cuts a promo. We really get this love triangle kicking off this week on Raw. Liv Morgan appearing via satellite and basically alluding to the fact that she had her man in Mexico.
Yep. Yeah, and hey, we got a match announcement. They're going to be the match is set for SummerSlam, so we have another piece of that card. Look for our SummerSlam preview here in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, it's this card is starting to shape up a little bit, and I think this will be a good one.
Yeah, no, I could not agree more. I mean, these two, especially because this is a long-term story that they didn't mean to tell in the first place, and that's it's funny because that's what kind of two of these big stories in WWE right now are just kind of sheer
organic
dumb luck. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, much better word for it. I was gonna say dumb luck or
This one feels a little bit more organic than the last one too, because like this has been like Liv was taken out, she finally got back. Went on this kind of revenge tour thing, has kind of gotten the short end of the stick on pretty much everything, back-to-back Rumbles, being the final person eliminated, being the last in the chamber eliminated, and then finally winning this title after she injures the champion. And then this has been probably a year and a half build overall. So I'm really, really excited for this one. And we will save the preview for the preview show, but man, I think Rhea's going to have to face some more adversity before she gets that title back. So,
and I don't even necessarily think that that's a bad thing. I mean, she's coming back to this environment that has changed. We know that Damian is still 10 toes down for her, sure, but Finn, JD, Carlito, they could be a little murkier here. I mean, even with last night,
why is Carlito
said you belong to me?
I mean, that was the line of the night. Why is Carlito here?
I don't know. That's not cool after the whole "you belong to me" line, which I gotta say, shout out to WWE's creative for making sure that all of the men in there were like, "Ooh, you done messed up. You shouldn't have said that."
No, dude. The line was when he came over with the cup. It was like, "She's mad, huh?" Carlito's been great in this. I don't know why the Judgment Day just does well with a comedic aspect of it, but man, he's doing.
Yeah,
they had the same thing with R-Truth. Now they have it with Carlito. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Now I don't want him to break up.
Yeah, no, I mean
we've wanted him to break up for months, and now I don't want him to break up.
Yeah, they always and that's again what WWE is doing well is they're keeping their finger on the pulse of kind of the reactions to these stories. And figuring out what they can do to keep the longevity going, and Carlito's definitely a solid part of that, and it's good to get him away from LWO because that has all. I mean, yeah, they're a faction, but
nobody cares.
Mostly just Ray and Zelina at this point.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, the LWO was fun for a while. They got some merch out of it, but let Ray be Ray. Speaking of Zelina, she got squashed last night.
A little bit. It's unfortunate too.
Do you like the storytelling? Again, I'm gonna have the jury still out, but they're trying to make the group look good.
Yeah, I mean, so far I do. I mean, Zelina's always been a much better talker than she is a wrestler, and she's a damn good wrestler. I do want to see them do more of that with her, because when you give her a chance to shine and to work, I mean, she's gonna do it. I would like to see her in some serious consideration for an extended title program sooner than later. If these mid-card titles are coming, then put her in that division. Let her do something there. She is too good to just kind of keep on the microphone, which they're really not having her do all that much. Ray knows how to talk. He doesn't need anybody to do that for him the way that we kind of needed to see that with the early days of Andrade.
Yep. No, I agree. Just put her back with Andrade. It wasn't broken. Let's not fix it. But
yeah.
But yeah. Again, jury's still out. We'll see what happens. They're giving them TV time, but we'll see. Been waiting for these three to be booked well for a while. And
I'm gonna let you know a little secret though.
What's that?
Uncle Howdy's Bo Dallas.
No, he's not. Dude, hold on.
Chad Gable figured it out. So if he figured it out,
hold on. We need to talk about that Eric Rowan promo.
That one really hurt. That was just
dude. That was like,
yeah, that was real. That was raw.
It was almost like they're just like, hey, here's what we want you to hit a few points. You take the rest of it, and he nailed it. I mean, you can see the real life hurt coming through for that promo.
Yeah.
It's making this group like I'm interested to see what they do with Gacy and Loomis, right? Like it's the same level of, they don't have as much relation as Bo and Rowan, so like they didn't have that connection with Bray as much. So are these two going to feel as good? Are they going to even do these two? Like, are they just going to have these two be a tag team? And what does that look like? But they've knocked it out of the park with Bo. They've knocked it out of the park with Rowan so far. Sky's the limit for the other two. That if they let them talk.
Yeah, I mean if they did, I feel like even though there's not that same hurt that comes with those that were so deeply rooted to the Bray Wyatt universe. Think about Joe Gacy. He had his following that left him, so he was left alone and kind of left to wander NXT aimlessly there for the last few months of his run. Dexter Lumis, same thing with The Way. It's just kind of I was cast aside when he was released. Yes, they brought him back, but even then, they didn't reunite him with that family that he built The Way from. So he is also a lost soul that you could kind of weave into that. And if Uncle Howdy is kind of bringing all of these hurt and lost souls together, that's kind of that common thread, off rip. Could say the same thing about Nikki Cross and Sanity too.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what they do with those three. Like I said, they've knocked the first two out of the park. So I want to keep seeing these vignettes. Do we see Bo at SummerSlam?
I think that we do.
Think we get a match?
I think we're at the point where we should start getting at least him in the ring.
Okay.
That would be the one criticism that I had about the initial 2022 return of Bray Wyatt, is that it took them too long to get him into the ring.
Yeah. Well,
and I just don't want to see that happen again with Bo Dallas.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's because I'm starting to think too, like maybe we get Gable and Bo at SummerSlam or some kind of combination of a 6-man. We saw the Creeds with Chad last night. That'll obviously lead to something, but yeah, I feel the same way. I think we will see Bo in the ring sooner rather than later, especially since he's on TV in the ring so quickly after the debut.
Yeah, for sure. Drew McIntyre is still suspended after hitting referees. Seth Rollins comes out to save the day.
Yeah, please.
More of the same.
I just hope Punk's cleared. Because if not, they can just pivot to Drew and Seth. Realistically.
Which is fine. That was a great match, and Seth went into it on one wheel, so it would only be better from here. So I think that some combination of those three at SummerSlam is going to happen.
Yeah, I would think so. Because you're not going to leave Drew and Seth off the card.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah, you have to think, and especially after our main event, there will be at least one triple threat match: Braun, Sami Zayn, Ilja for the Intercontinental Championship at this point.
Yeah, that's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that doesn't mean Ilya is taking a pin. That's
What's
what
that? Say that one more time.
I'm hoping that does. It's not just Ilya in the match to take the fall.
See that?
I'm hoping it's Braun. Braun beats Sami Zayn.
Yeah, Sami can take this loss.
Yes.
You know, this is, you know, and I know we've been talking about when, or at least I've been wondering when Sami is going to lose the title here, thinking that there would be a transition to another, you know, dominant reign, which I'm sure that we will get with Braun Breaker. But yeah, no, this is not a loss that would hurt Sami. I mean, elevating younger talent, totally fine with it.
Yeah. No, like Ilya doesn't need this loss. Like
No.
continue to build Ilya because he's one of the futures.
Yeah, and they know that. I mean, come on, he's main eventing.
He is. I'm just triple threat match worry me a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Do you have the preview for NXT up?
I can. Why don't you vamp and tell people about all the fantastic stuff we're doing today?
Absolutely, yes. So this week, our good friends Rob Weathers and Carmen Michael return to the show. That is tomorrow night at 6:30. This Thursday, we will be having SCI tournament founder Scott Hensley joining the show.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
Sorry, I had to blow that one up a little bit. Wow. Look at that. Thank you, Scott. Is it formal, Scott?
What's that?
Is it going to be formal, Scott?
I hope not. I need super casual, Scott. Yeah. No, that, yeah.
All right. That's fair. All right.
Just saying.
So we have Tatum Paxley taking on Izzy Dame.
Braun Breaker's new girlfriend, yeah.
Gallus versus the Rascals.
Let's go, Rascals.
Yeah, I think TNA needs a win. We have
This
OTM.
is a good one to get.
OTM, not on the mark, but out the mud, taking on the OC in a 6-person mixed tag. Okay.
Yeah.
We will hear from Roxanne Perez tonight.
So do you think we get a new challenger for Heatwave here?
I don't think so. I think they're going to save it. I think we're going to get Thea Hale at Heatwave. They kind of played into it a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So, patience is a virtue.
I know, and I'm terrible with it.
Yes, you are. Javon Evans takes on Brooks Jensen.
Hey, a former SCI Tournament Futures participant.
That's right. Formal Scott can come on and talk about that. And Obafemi defends his North American Championship against your boy, Duke Hudson.
Meat on meat. Still waiting for that heel turn.
It's not going to happen.
I waited 434 days for CM Punk to lose the WWE title to The Rock. I think I can wait.
Oh, my God. You wanted that?
Yeah, I just wanted
Punk
to be
God.
done with the title.
I think you might be the only person on the planet that was happy about that.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that says how good that Punk was at being a heel at the time. How about that?
I need to take a step back. Man.
Do you?
I think I need to rethink this entire friendship. You were happy. You were happy that The Rock beat CM Punk.
I was. That was how just despised he was as a heel. You really going to decide to jump ship now when we are about a week away from our 200th episode and a massive announcement on Friday that's going to change the trajectory of what the Wrestling Junkies does?
A little bit. This is life-shattering news.
Really?
This one,
I'm accepting applications for a new co-host. All you need to do is know how to use Restream, basic internet connection. Oh, you're back.
You done? Are you done? You'll never have another podcast dad, you jackass.
Yes. Says who? You think I can't get a fake podcast dad?
No. What, you're going to go under faker on me?
Yeah, don't think I won't.
Whatever. Take it home.
Hey. I am just saying, okay? Sid Bacabella's not doing anything.
Take it home.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us today. It seems like I've ruffled the podcast dad's feathers. Oh well. But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notifications. If you know at least one person, please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with them. We are at 290 YouTube subscribers, trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and we need your help to
300 by the end of the week. Get to 300. Come on.
We can do that. 10 people. That's doable. So tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your Aunt Linda, whoever you got to tell. Please share our podcast with them. Again, major announcement coming this Friday at noon. Wish we could tell you more right now, but quite frankly, we just don't want to. It's.
You can't.
I mean, it's
obligations.
Yeah.
Johnny's been on the phone a lot, so
Johnny has nothing to do with this.
He does.
Johnny has nothing to do with this.
He's still here, just like he's always ready.
I know that he is, but he's gonna be stuck in catering for a while.
How dare you?
How dare you?
It's fine.
Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow again. Rob Weathers, Carmen Michael coming to join us tomorrow night, 6:30. Thursday night, SCI founder Scott Hensley will be joining us also at 6:30. I know. He said yes to us.
Sorry.
I know. I'm gonna need you to rein it in. Just. I know you're excited. I know. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Let's be kind. Let's enjoy wrestling. For the podcast, Dad, I'm Mr. Cincinnati. It's been the Wrestling Junkies Podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.